Hi, thanks for joining me for quick business tips. Today, I want to talk to anyone who absolutely hates selling, but knows that they have a service that is so beneficial to their clients. They just don't really feel comfortable getting all that information out there because there are ways to authentically promote your services without feeling pushy and slimy and icky. So, the first thing that I want you to do, if you are one of the people that are in this boat with me, you need to shift your mindset from selling a service to really serving your client because you know that the service that you are selling is actually beneficial to your client. You know that the service is going to help them, or you wouldn't be selling it in the first place. And you provide such incredible value to your customers when they use your service that why wouldn't you want to get it out there for them? Because the reality is, if you are not putting your services in a place where your ideal client is going to see it and hear about it and love it as much as you do, somebody else is going to be doing that. And that person may not have the same heart and want to serve your ideal client the same way you do. So if you know that you are providing exceptional value to your customers, why wouldn't you want to make this something that they hear about on a regular basis? So we're going to stop thinking of it as selling our services and start thinking about it as letting people know about how we want to serve them as our customer. Now, the next shift that is very helpful if you fall into this boat is you want to really build relationships and build trust with your ideal clients. And you do this by having genuine conversations with them. This is not scripted. This is not AI generated. This is real, genuine, heartfelt conversations with your ideal customer. And in addition to these conversations, or as part of these conversations, you're also going to provide value to them at no charge. Now, by no means when I say this, am I saying that you should offer free services to them, because the last thing that you want to do is fix your client's problem at no charge, because then why would they hire you and pay you money when they already are starting to feel relief? So there's a very fine line that you have to walk between giving them valuable content that they can use with actionable steps that they can take, just like I'm doing in this episode, and not giving your services away for free. Because, yes, if you are listening to this episode or any of the episodes, you are getting real information. And every week, you are getting an actionable step that you can take to make your business better or to make yourself better, to lead your team better. But if you really want to see exponential results and you want to do it quickly, then the best way to do that is to pay me for my services and work with me in some form or fashion. That's what I mean by building relationships and trust through authentic conversations while adding value. I'm hoping that you see the difference. So now that we've shifted our mindset away from selling and are thinking about our marketing and our sales tactics as serving our clients, because our marketing and sales are really putting out value to the clients, and we are building relationships and deepening the trust that we have with them. The next thing that we want to do to demonstrate your expertise in your area is to identify and talk about the pain points that your clients have. Now, this is when it is super important to really get focused on who your ideal client is. Because here's the thing. If you get super focused and you talk about the pain point that you know your perfect 10 out of 10 client is suffering from, that message, when you're talking about the pain that they're feeling and talking about where they are now and where they really want to be, that is going to resonate with them so clearly that you're going to feel like you're either reading their mind or you broke into their house and you've been reading their diary. That is what's going to immediately build trust with this audience. Now, a lot of people push back and they don't want to really narrowly focus on this. And so they try to get really vague about the pain point, or they start to get really vague about how their ideal client's feeling. And when you do that, you really water down your message by trying to target a much, much larger group of people rather than a super specific group of people. And so the fear that so many of my clients have is that when they get super specific, they will leave out all these other people who they could help. And that's just not true because when these people who are maybe a 7 out of 10 or an 8 out of 10, as far as your like checklist for your ideal client goes, when they hear bits and pieces of this very narrowly targeted marketing message that you're putting out, and they say, "Ooh, I relate to a lot of that." Not 100% all of that, but a lot of that. They will still reach out. They will still be interested. And the 10 out of 10 client is going to be like, absolutely, 100%. You're already reading my mind. I know that you can help me. One of the best ways to talk about your client's pain points and demonstrate your expertise and understanding of how you can fix these pain points for your client is to use stories. So one of the things I absolutely love to do when I'm talking to someone is to say, "Oh my gosh, I know, I get it, I understand. That reminds me so much of this client, Sarah. And she had a lot of the same problems. This was her specific situation. And these are the steps that we took together. These are the results that I got for her." When you put it in a story like that and really like talk about Sarah and give her emotions and stuff that is going to resonate with your target audience, that makes it feel real to them. And it's also how we best remember things. So, just psychologically, as humans, we are much, much more likely to remember a story somebody told us rather than, let's say, they go onto your website and you've listed some features and benefits of the service that you offer. Now, when it comes down to it on paper, the story and this list of benefits on your website might feel exactly the same to you. But to the end user, to your target audience, the story is going to resonate and it's going to stick with them and it's going to hit them in their heart. And that's what you really want your marketing to do. So we've shifted our mindset. We are no longer selling, we are serving our clients. How do we serve our clients before they become clients? We're going to do that with genuine conversation and providing valuable content. We are also going to identify, address their pain point that they are suffering with, and we're going to show our expertise by telling stories about how we fix this exact problem for somebody else. The last step that takes us, that bridges that gap between marketing and selling is actually making the ask. doing it with confidence and clarity, and focusing on the value and the impact that your services bring. So this is not, here's a story about this person. I totally understand where you're coming from. Bup-de-bup, resonate, resonate. So how about I call you in a couple weeks? That's not making an ask. So how do you feel about this? Again, not making an ask, but if you can just say, would you like my help solving this problem? That is as close to a direct ask as you could get without feeling like you're asking. Now, if you don't hate selling and maybe you've like really built up your confidence, you can go ahead and say, are you ready to invest in this program with me? Or are you ready for my help? Or you know what I mean? Like you can get more and more and more direct. But I have found that the clients that really hate the ask don't hate, would you like my help with this? Like we've had this conversation. You've identified that you have the pain points that I can help resolve. I've shown you with stories of past clients how I have resolved these pain points for other people. Now I'm asking, would you like my help doing this for you? Like that feels so much less icky than anything else that they've tried in the past. The key here is, would you like my help resolving this issue? Only works if you have built that relationship, deepened the trust, and shown them through a story how you've done this for someone else. So I hope this helps you as you are maybe a little reluctant to get into marketing your services and actually selling them, especially online, on social media, putting yourself out there as a face. It is overwhelming and it is something that a lot of people get stuck in. And I got stuck in for a long time. It made me super uncomfortable to be the face of my business. So I understand where you're coming from. Something that you can do today, right now, is to look at a lot of the stuff that you've been putting out or that you're thinking about putting out in the next 30 days. Read through it and see if it's clear to you that you are trying to serve and add value to your client. And then see if you are adding a call to action in every piece of marketing that you're putting out, whether it's a social media post, a podcast, an email. Everything you're putting out should have some kind of call to action. Now, that doesn't always have to be, if you would like my help with this, book a call. It can be, if you'd like more tips like these, make sure you follow my Instagram or make sure you subscribe to my podcast. So there could be lots of different ways that aren't always about spending money, right? Take a look at that. Let me know in the comments how that goes for you. And if you would like more help in this area of your business, I would love to offer you a free consultation. I am not going to be taking your time and trying to sell you. What I'm going to want to do is find out where you are and what you're struggling with right now to see if I can help you get to where you want to be. I'm Jennifer with Limitless Impact Agency. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast so you can get these valuable tips every week.